Well, hello everyone. I am Del Delbridge, Benchmark Realty, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. It is Friday the 12th, 2021, which made yesterday Thursday the 11th. Now, Thursday the 11th is the day we set aside to appreciate those who have served in our military forces. Memorial Day, as we covered back then, was for those who have passed, and Armed Forces Day are for those who are currently serving. Veterans Day is a day of recognition for those who have served. And it goes back to when we used to call it Armistice Day. And it's easy to remember once you remember this. 11/11/11, because the end of major hostilities officially occurred on November the 11th on the 11th hour. So that's how that works. And so just remember 111111 and think of it like maybe two towers still standing, that type of thing. It is a set of 11s. So there we have that. Now today we have our numbers. We'll get to those just momentarily. But I saw something in Realtor magazine came to me. It was a story on taxes, reminding people that with all these lovely skyrocketing home values in our area, we may be 16 to 20% growth in our area, that you're going to get taxes to go along with them. Who would be surprised that certain areas even put in barriers to production on new homes so that it makes the old homes go up in value simultaneously? The cost of construction goes up and they pay more taxes. Now, a lot of places do have limits or some kind of schemes to keep property taxes from going out of sight. A couple months back, I by phone interviewed our tax assessor back when Phil Valentine, God rest his soul, was still around. That man, I could tell whenever February came around, February to March, he would complain about paying his taxes. Again, God rest him, but I'd tell him, I'd say, Phil, quit your grumping. There are a lot of people can't stub a check for that. If it bothers you that much, you put it in your mortgage. Of course, if you don't have a mortgage, you can't really put that in hide it in your mortgage like the PITI, the principal, interest, and taxes and insurance. But your loan almost always slowly creeps up every year because two of those things do not stay stable over the life of your loan. And you know that if you've ever owned a home before, they don't stay stable year after year after year because the interest, it may be there, and the principal, that balances may be there just fine, but then you have taxes which go up about every other year, and then you have the insurance it takes to keep your home protected from major catastrophe, which is of course required if you have a loan. So you're like, why is my loan going up? I had this budgeted, and my loan is going up, my value. Well, if you have an escrow, it's going to do that. If you don't, you may even see, if you have yours escrowed, a shortage notice come up that they tell you that, well, you owe us more money. And that comes about if during this estimation, we always pay into that account, that escrow account, next year's insurance and taxes. And if they jump up further than they have collected the previous year, then you end up with a deficit, a shortage that you have to make up for, and they'll tell you that we're going up to make up for that shortage. So we have that. Now in Rutherford County, as explained to me, because Phil at the time was telling everybody, well, your taxes can't go up. Your taxes can't go up. There's a state law. And yes, to a degree, but there's a misunderstanding of what all that means. So this is what the tax assessor explained to me, very, very generous person with his time. The law says we cannot take a reapportionment of value to get more revenue. So if our revenue is somewhere down here, I'll kind of get my hands stable, it's like here, when we get done with our reevaluation, our reappraisal of the county as a whole, and it's pretty well much, it's not done really at the individual home level, it's taken as kind of a property class, neighborhood kind of algorithmic type of thing. If we have a lot of, although I'm sure it's human involved, when your home is worth this much more in, say, Rockville or Murfreesboro, and it grew, say, 20%, and you have another area, say, I don't know, out toward me, maybe it only grows 6, 8, 10%, something like that, and it comes up. They both may go up, but one is going up further. So when we reassess the value of the property, we have to bring the rate down so that this new, very expensive, high growth property and this lower growth that's still growing, they're both growing, that the total that those properties bring. Now, Rutherford County, each county has its tax assessor, not each city. So cities within counties have to deal with whatever the county tax assessor brought up. So maybe Murfreesboro, their value, they may have their own rates, as Laverne and Smyrna and other places, they have their own rates, but the values are set by their tax assessors, and the county cannot make more money. However, certain areas are then allowed, because they're worth more money using the same rate, they can pay more money. Others will pay less money. But in general, it's just a point of trying to keep that cap, finding a new rate imposed by, I suppose, if I understand it right, the Equalization Board. They have to approve the new rate. Those rates have to result in no more money, but we're still making them equal across the class, across each kind of class of property. So if you've got massive growth in one area and you've got less growth in one area, there may be a ratio of their bills go up, but their rates are going to be the same for the same property class, if that makes sense. We're not going to pick on one set of single family value homes and pick on another single family. If I understood correctly, that's how that's going to work, because they're going to get the same rate. But when one of them's worth, say, 20% more than it was, and maybe one's only worth, say, 10% more or 8% more, the one who has the 16 to 20, they're going to pay more money in real dollars. They may pay the same rate, but they're going to pay more dollars. Does that make sense? I hope so. I hope I explained it the way it was explained to me with accuracy, but remember that I had to get a translation myself. So the realtor story I will put in the description of this video, should I be able to find it again for you. So we have our numbers, but before we get to our numbers, let's talk about this advertisement that we run every week. Hello, I'm Dale Delbridge of Benchmark Realty, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. If you are currently unrepresented and would like to know how to compare up to 3 properties side by side and room by room, then go over to my new YouTube channel, Call Dale to Sell. That's one L in Dale, no spaces. Watch the demo on Real Scout and then call me and we'll set up your exclusive ad-free account today. I snuck that in there. We got that done. This is a week. We're still having SEC football. I got to say there's not a lot to look forward to. If you're a big Orange fan, you play Georgia. Okay. Alabama is going to play New Mexico State, and I think that's probably just about a foregone conclusion as well. However, you might see some kicking and screaming on both sides of the lesser scoring team, and never give up hope, because some teams have a habit of shooting themselves in the foot and being done with. So it's still games worth watching, but it's not really going to be a tight-fisted game. We had a good game with LSU and Alabama for a while. We even had a good game between UT and Alabama for a while. And a lot of games are like this. Kentucky and UT, that was a terrific game. I think it was down to, what, three points, single score, and one bad call made the difference in that game. So it's football, folks. And when this season gets done, we'll have another one after that. All right, so we've got that done. Let's go ahead and hit our numbers. Last week we had 11, 5, 21. We had 10, 0, 3, 0 in the Opportunities Real Scout system. That was down over the previous period. We had 46, 65 up in the under contract still showing, and an integer ratio of 47 actually rose slightly. So this week, 11, 12, 21, we have 1, 0, 0, 2, 9, exactly one less opportunity in all of the area of the MLS, and we had 4663 in the under contract still showing, and that was down by 2. So we're down by 1 in the opportunities, we're down by 2 in the under contract still showing, and the integer ratio remained at the same at 47. So we appreciate you watching. Have a good, safe weekend.